Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. So guys, I want to have a chat with you about what the heck is going on in our markets these days, and understand the sort of responsibility, dangers and stuff when it comes to managing your money. So the first thing I want to address here is the culture on YouTube, the culture on social media is all about YOLOing, right? Pick your hottest coin, pick your hottest stock, and just throw all your money into it, because that's what all the cool kids are doing. And I just really caution you on that kind of thing. The first lesson I want to talk with you this is like, open up your mind, open up your imagination to other things than just one company or one coin. Because if you do that, if you YOLO on something, you can get burned really badly. And that's essentially how people lose their shirt. That's the phrase, or lose their pants, lose their underwear, lose everything, right? Lose your shoes. You can lose everything, and be very careful on that. Now, for some people say, no, Chris, you're just too stupid. You just missed out on 15% gains in Bitcoin this week because Bitcoin was up. And my response is, that's fine, because there are other stuff in the world, right? I have a bigger worldview than just say Bitcoin or just Tesla. And something I want to like talk with you about is like, think about, okay, maybe you did great, this past week, but can you predict the future 100% going forward in the next year? And are you sleeping well at night? And do you know your money's going to be there? Say, for example, whatever crazy crypto that you're in. Was it just yesterday? Hulk Hogan gave his speech at the Republican National Convention, and it was funny because someone mentioned that he was involved in some sort of crypto scam. I looked it up. Yep, he definitely was. It was like called Hulk, H-U-L-K. And the craziest thing is like, whatever person, be it Hulk Hogan or whatever person on YouTube, etc. If they're pumping you some sort of crazy coin and you got to buy it now and hurry before limited supply, before coins run out, and they're all digital, of course, right? and these kind of pressures are everywhere. And my advice to you always with these kind of things, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. In the case of the Hulk Hogan one, I think at the peak of the thing, it was like $75 million, total money market cap, and then it was like down to like $17,000, this kind of thing. Until you've been burned once, you don't realize like how dangerous this world is and how crazy it is. Moreover, I know I just talked about crypto or the culture of YOLOing. I also want to mention the Tesla stuff. The stuff that really bothers me about the Tesla thing, is sort of why I talk about it with you all the time on the channel, is I understand like maybe you really find technology cool. I actually really like technology as well. I do. But this relates to, say, don't throw your eggs in one basket, is understand there are more companies in the world than just one. It's real, guys. There's a lot of companies in the world. There's a lot of people doing lots of amazing things, not just one company, not just one person. Because sometimes people say like, oh my God, Chris, don't you realize that Elon Musk is the greatest mind of our generation? Don't you understand these kind of things? And it's just like, hey guys, I can see that he's done well for himself, right? But I can also see that he doesn't necessarily care about you, and he does things on a whim. Like it was just announced this week that like, oh my God, there's this new California law about trans students and something like that, and now I'm gonna pull all my companies and run away to Texas. But it's not really about the trans law. It's about thinking about himself, be it his taxes, be about going to a state where they don't enforce regulations, so you can cheat your workers as much as you want, you can falsely advertise as much as you want, right? And you can essentially have full reign. And when I think about that kind of stuff, or for example, say he puts out a product and someone gets killed, and like he's making off jokes about whatever doggy coin or doing meme stocks or meme stuff about GameStop or whatever Elon Musk has tweeted today. Like you guys know, he tweets all sorts of wild stuff, and actually he even tweets out stuff that is sort of not safe for work. I can't even show you on the channel. Like that kind of thing shows me that he doesn't really care. I'll give you an example, a really clear one. Wasn't it was it like last winter when the people in Chicago, they had Teslas, like they got stuck at charging stations. And I think might have been more than Chicago. I think it was multiple places, because it was just frankly too cold. And like in that kind of situation, it was like completely mute, right? Mum, don't say anything from the Tesla bulls, be it the social media people or even Elon Musk himself. And those kind of things are when people that they don't care about you. Like it's awful. The same way that Hulk Hogan pumps up a whatever coin that he has, and then he just runs away and pretends like it didn't exist. And the argument he'll say is, oh no, I wasn't doing my social media, it was my manager's fault. I'm like, who knows? I mean, there's two ways you can read that. You say like, well, either he doesn't care enough about seeing what's on his social media and to address it really, really quickly, right? Or he's just outright lying, right? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. The thing is about this stuff, regardless of whatever you do in your life, the YOLO culture is not good, because you're just putting too much of your hopes on one thing, right? Because I know the example Hulk Hogan, the example Bitcoin, the example of Tesla, but sometimes it might even be something that is a legitimate company, right? There could be any number of companies out there. And I'm like, okay, we use an example today. Is a good one of CrowdStrike. I think they're a real company. They have real products, and in fact, the problem with CrowdStrike is like too many people use it, and they had like an outage. You guys know it was a global IT outage, like the worst in history. That's another example of like, don't throw all your eggs in one basket. People were talking about in the comments today, and it's fun to like always talk about what's going on in the market. Is did people at companies have fail safes that protected themselves from these kind of downturns? So someone's like saying, hey, when you deploy software, put it in a test environment first, and then after it works out okay, then deploy it to everyone and go live. Meaning that it's kind of the same way of like not YOLOing. Like let's not YOLO on our rollout of the software. Let's make sure that it works a little bit first, and then go and then eventually put out the other one. I know software's not exact. It's not the exact. How can I say the exact analogy that matches financial markets, but it does relate in terms of having safety measures in place. That's a good way to put it. The other thing too, which I want you to be thinking about, is like opening your mind to other things. Say for those people in the crypto world that say, oh Chris, you're so dumb. I diversify my crypto, right? I get doggy crypto, I get bunny crypto, I get rabbit crypto, and I even get the bird crypto, the parrot one. That one's pretty good. But sometimes I get canary crypto, right? Or it's kind of like saying, Chris, you're so dumb. I diversify my lottery ticket purchases. Sometimes I go to the 7-Eleven. Sometimes I go to the grocery store. Sometimes I go to S-Mart, right? Shop Smart, shop S-Mart. And I diversify my lottery ticket buying that way, and it's like really small way of thinking about your assets and your things like that. And so that's the sort of why I try every day on this channel, just to reinforce these kind of things. It's good to have these conversations about like, hey guys, there's more than just one thing. Put your money in different things, manage different things, and also too, think about different assets, or I guess to say, it is your asset, your mind, but as I was thinking about, there's like different facets of your life is what I wanted to say. Because I think the struggle that I have, because I do social media with you guys every day and hang out with you, but the struggle I have with like the current culture is people aren't taking like a big enough holistic approach to these things. So yes, I get it. It's fun to talk about the crazy, doggy coin that's going to save your life, and you're going to throw all your money in there, and you'll take it to wherever you want to go, right? Take it to the we'll call it green acres. But part of getting your life in order and getting the dreams that you want is making sure that, one, make sure you have a good job, guys. Have the job skills that are going to be in place to where someone always needs you. Someone always needs what you have to offer. That alone is one of your biggest ways to secure your future for yourself and your family, right? Have skills, and it's gonna be different for everyone. Whatever skill that you can offer is gonna be different from me, different from another person. But you're gonna have a skill that people want, and then once you identify that, you really want to work on honing that. Someone wrote a comment, 'cause guys, I read all the comments. This is sort of when I make these videos, I'm just answering different comments. I don't read or show you the comment directly, but this is what I'm addressing. Someone wrote a comment though yesterday, of saying like, oh Chris, the world's really about luck. It's more about what zip codes you're born in, these kind of things, and I want to offer some pushback on that. So it is true. I'm just being honest with you. It's true. Whatever zip code you're born in, or what year you were born, or who your parents are, some of these things you can't really choose, does have a very realistic implications for your life outcomes. However, like I write about my book Positive Angle, and I always mention it because it's just, guys, I lived through this stuff. I don't think of my life and sort of my journey as just being luck and luck alone. Yes, luck does play parts of it. Sometimes it does, but the way you think about it is like the harder that I work, the more luckier that I get. The more, think of it this way, the more, for example, the more job applications you throw out there in the world, the more chance that you have to like get that one that's really gonna do it for you, right? And then in that stage, like the harder that you more hours that you put in, the more time you stay at the office, the higher chance you're gonna meet one of your coworkers that may tell you something that really changes your life, this kind of things, right? You give yourself more opportunities to succeed. So, yes, there can be luck involved in life for any number of things, be it who you meet in life, be it, you saw the right piece of information at the right time and you're able to take advantage of that. Yeah, certainly luck does involve, but the more you put yourself out there, the luckier you're going to get. And that actually kind of relates to the financial markets in a way. It's sort of like when you expose yourself to understanding different ways of thinking about money, not just one, right? You'll do much better. And it's not really luck. For example, managing money. Just for example, simple advice: spend less money than you take in. Like you take in, $100, spend 70 of it, right? Because I know it's hard to like only spend 10 and save the rest of 90. Because have you seen inflation these days, right? Things are expensive out there, guys. I really know. Manage your finances in a way that you're always turning out positive every month, and then you can use that money to put it, in stocks, put it in bonds, put it in high yield savings accounts, these kind of things. And then we talk about stocks. I know people always say, like, what's the hottest stock? For me, in this day and age, just put it in some index funds. I think you're going to be fine that way, and just keep building that up. If you want to do individual things, you can, but I would diversify, not YOLO. You'll find in these crazy markets that we're in, maybe you'll be really great on some trades, but in other trades, maybe not so good. And then you'll start to figure out, okay, the markets be crazy. And that's something I always say all the time with you guys. But kind of, when I have these talks with you just about this kind of stuff, is just to add some sanity and some saneness to these things. I want you to understand that you can do well in this world. You really can. The thing is, though, you really need to, like, how can I say, keep a level head about stuff, right? I think what happens to a lot of people with any of these kind of things is you get overexcited and you make bad decisions. It's a thing. And one of the worst things, and I can't remember if I mentioned in this video, but I mention stuff all the time. I sort of happen to talk with you. One of the worst things that can happen to you, though, is if you win too much too early, and then you think everything is so easy, and then you start taking the really big bets and taking those really big leverage things, and then suddenly when the market turns on you, like say today, it was like the lowest and biggest drop since April, you can get burned really badly, or many of the YouTubers out there, frankly, lie to you. And what I mean by that is they withhold information. That's a very common thing that it happens on YouTube. Take the example of Tesla. I use the example of Tesla, it's an easy one. Sales are down in California by like 24%. And I promise you, probably none of the Tesla people are going to mention that kind of thing, right? They don't mention the negatives, they only talk about the positives, or they'll say, oh no, that mainstream media is all liars, kind of thing. And that, like this culture, like it all relates where this culture of YOLO all the time, ignore negative news. If you look at anything negative, you're just a downer and no fun, or diversity is for losers, right? Just put all your money on one thing. It's just kind of the same as YOLO. And also too, you're part of a community and a movement, and this is what's fun and it's what cool kids do. Like all these kind of things add up, and I can go on and on and on. I'll make separate videos about this stuff, but all these things kind of add up and the sort of put you on the wrong path. One of the things I want you to be thinking about, which is funny because many channels and so YouTube and social media out there try to say, hey guys, we're the rebels, join us, we're the rebels. And here's the truth, like the biggest cults act like the rebels, but they're totally not, because they're all a bunch of sheep together, right? And I'll tell you what the hardest thing to do about life in general is doing the thing that is actually the least exciting, but the most like guaranteed that you're going to be successful, right? This is like hard work, be patient, take the steady gains, like that kind of stuff. It's the least exciting, but you're guaranteed to be successful. So I understand that, you know, everyone wants everything today, but I can just tell you the truth that, like, it doesn't really work that way. I've been in this game a long time. I'm 49 years old. I always mention my age because it matters. And essentially, when you know, talk about with anyone with advice like that, you know, always look to people who've been in the game a long time, because they've seen stuff before, right? For those of you who just knew this stuff, you may just see this must be your first cycle. You know, maybe it's only your second cycle or whatever. You'll see this stuff, and then you start to, as you get more experience with life, with anything in life, not just financial markets, with jobs, relationships, anything, it's easier to handle things. Because someone wrote a comment of like, how does Chris, you know, stay so? I think chill was the word. Just through experience, like, and the more things that you experience, like, you're not so thrown off anymore because it's not your first rodeo, not your first time. So anyway, I know I talk a lot about a lot of different things when we do these talks, but I enjoy just hanging out with you, and I like to talk. So anyway, do appreciate your time, everyone, and I'll catch you all in the next video.